touch the sky? Will you cry out and you don't know why? Come on now, let your feet fly. Come on now, let's go for a ride. Come on now, let your feet fly. Oh, let it fly. Come on, come on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Red Couch.
I'm Izzy.
I'm Ash, and this is Katie.
Katie, everybody.
Look at that sweatshirt she's wearing, by the way.
Represent.
What's up? This is Family Day on the Red Couch.
It is.
Love you guys. Love
There you go. So we're talking today, hey, one of my favorite topics for sure,
Yes, me too.
beside art, body ache.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. So, Katie, yes.
Come on, guys.
By the way. So, how long have you been doing this? Let's get into that. Let's get into what drew you into all this.
Oh, this is all Katie's stuff.
This is all
that you
Katie's
can
stuff
see
too, folks.
behind us.
Really cool. Very cool.
What?
She'll sell it to you. It's expensive.
So many money.
No idea. I don't know.
Well, if you act that way, then yeah, totally expensive. What drew me into tattooing is basically it's my journey of art has been first painting, drawing, and then finally jumping on, facing my fears and getting onto skin. I have always admired tattoo artists, tattoo work, and yeah, I finally met someone, a close friend of mine, and she gave me the opportunity to learn how to do some ink work.
Where did you do that?
Well, I did half of it here at Woo!
Republic East Vancouver Barbershop.
Yeah. But it was through my my mentor, Wild Wounds, Annie, if you guys don't know her.
Find her on Instagram, blow your mind.
Buddy, her work is sick. So Wild Wounds. We were friends and we just started hanging out, and I was talking to her about being interested in learning how to tattoo. I told her it always scared the shit out of me.
She's so
Yeah.
sweet too, hey?
Oh, she's the best.
Yeah.
She's like
That
genuine.
little kid of
genuine.
hers too.
Oh my god.
Give me a
Yeah,
break.
I know. She's so sweet, and like I think that's what drew us into you guys. Like we actually met at a dog park, and it was her little girl running around. I was like, "Who is that sweetheart?" And so like I went up and started talking to her, and anyways, we just hit it off really well. And she has sick art all over her, and we were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm a tattoo artist." I'm like, "Wow, like a female like tattoo artist around here." And so we just started talking, and yeah, we created a friendship. And after a while, I was having a hard time at my job. I'm also a longshoreman,
Right.
and I work down at the port of Vancouver and in Delta Port. And we were actually on strike. And I was getting hard up for money, and I was just like, her and I were talking, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, would you be willing to show me the ropes? Would you be able to like give me an apprenticeship? And so we talked it through, and we made basically we shook our hands on it, and for a year apprenticeship. So every weekend I would go and follow her around like a little puppy and learn the ropes.
Right.
Yeah, it was awesome though. She gave me the chance. So every weekend I would go into the shop. She was working at this shop off Broadway in Maine called Artisphere. So when I started, we were there for a few months, and she it was probably December. We started in August, and around December, she's like, "Hey, sorry to say, but we're gonna be moving shops." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, where are we going next? Like, what's the next role?" And she's like, "It's actually pretty sweet. It's actually by our houses." And she's like, "You'll probably get along with the dudes pretty well." I'm like, "Oh yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, they're kind of like metalheads, punk heads, like." And it's actually Republic of East Vancouver. I'm like, "Buddy, I walk by that shop all the time." And so it was actually a blessing in disguise. I didn't realize like how much the atmosphere would change coming into a new shop and everything.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And I felt like right away I felt at home here, especially with you guys, just like.
This place is ridiculously chill.
But you guys open arms, like came in, you just like right away like
Oh,
start pounding.
you're our people, man.
Yeah, you start pounding, like, and you're
That's-
friends, but you guys
yeah.
are just like, I could tell the vibes were really great. So I got pumped, like, being able to come in here on weekends, hang out with her,
Mm-hmm.
hang out with you guys, and
We have tons of longshoremen coming in here too.
yeah.
Like-
Oh, yeah, I would
Yeah.
imagine, like,
Yeah.
It's his
Well,
van.
he's
Well,
van
Paul
baby.
Farrar,
Paul,
we love you.
bro.
You're made of gold.
Yeah, so
And does not watch this for sure.
oh, well, we'll get him on Instagram watching it. But yeah, so basically it was a year apprenticeship, and yeah, every weekend coming in, learning the ropes, and then finally, after some time of practicing on fake skin, oranges, pork skin, you know what I mean?
Wow, you
Getting
do
the
all that
grilled
kind of stuff, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to. It's like when you do an apprenticeship, it's still traditional in that way, right?
Yes,
you have
yes.
to be under someone. You can't just like go pick up a tattoo machine and start whipping it out and pretending that
Yeah,
you're
you know
gonna.
what you're doing, yeah.
But yeah, like one
I
thing
remember
though.
watching you do fucking shading and shading and shading and shading.
Yeah, over and over and line work, right? It's
Yeah.
just like and circles, just
Yeah.
gotta fucking do it. As Annie said, just fucking do the circle. I'm like, okay, but so yeah, it was weeks and like months of that, and finally getting the courage and like confidence, I want to say, like
Yeah,
to pick
yeah.
up the machine and actually be like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to put this on you.
Forever.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah,
What is that feeling? I mean, I've done some tattoos.
Yeah.
I'll show you one that's pretty fucking cool. It's a 666. I did it myself.
You did? Let's do that.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
thanks.
sick.
Yeah, here YouTube. I did that. Super wasted. Anyway.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah. See, old school, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like, I don't know. One day it just kind of clicked, and I asked Annie. I was like, "You think I'm ready?" And she's like, "You've been ready for a while. Let's do
That's
this."
awesome.
And so I did my first tattoo. So is this the tombstone here?
Oh, cool.
So what was pretty sweet is, were you here that day when I was doing it? Yeah. So Annie was able to sit down, watch me do it, and
Yeah.
if I needed anything, she would just watch and oversee.
Yeah,
and,
oversee you do it, yeah.
yeah, or if I was fucking up, she'd be jump in
Mhm.
and able to help
Yeah,
out
yeah,
and
yeah.
clean her up. But yeah, it was great. It was definitely, as an artist, I thought like, cause I came to tattooing with
Through
art.
art, right?
Yeah, through art.
A lot of people do. I met a guy who did a tagger on my Chinese guy, Japanese guy, did a tagger here on my leg.
Yeah.
And he was really, really good at sketching. Like he could, when you do the outline, take the picture.
Yeah.
He could take the picture and he could like really do it. Because my other guy that I went to all the time, Jamie, actually looked at that and he went, "That was really well done." And I said, "Yeah, the guy is really good. He could you could give him a picture and he could zip it right off." And he said he went to art school too. So it was easy for him to follow through, right?
I thought that was going to be like a huge benefit for me, coming in already having arts degree
Yeah.
and you know knowledge of
Mhm.
how to place and like proportion and like line and symmetry and all that. But to be honest, it humbled me. I had no
Okay.
fucking clue when it comes
Yeah,
to painting or drawing. And you have a flat piece of surface,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
attacking someone's body,
That's a
You're-
whole other thing altogether. but,
Yeah,
I never thought about
And no
that.
eraser.
no eraser, buddy.
Yeah.
Can't fucking go back. And
One,
like,
one try, yeah, right.
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
honestly, it was like, it humbled me as an artist. It made me kind of relearn things that I had drilled in my head in university. And it was like nothing I've ever done before. So with tattooing, I believe it's a craft for sure, but it's like ever growing. Like you have to grow with it. It's as changes you as an artist, and you like change it. Like
Oh, that's
art,
wild. Has your painting changed?
Interesting
Yeah.
comment.
100%.
Huh.
So
Good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
When so my background, I went to Kwantlen Polytechnic University. I did my degree there. I majored in painting. I was a traditional painter, so I actually learned oil painting, and I did large scales as like this one.
Yeah.
This is one of my like small ones, which is silly, and this one here. I like to
This
do.
stuff is sick.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
love her.
Thank you.
I love the both of them really a
Well,
lot.
for sure.
Yeah, they are really nice.
I was always very attracted and drawn to surrealism,
Yeah,
surrealist
yeah,
art,
yeah.
how to play with the body and like how to make it contorted but still look good. And so I think that was one thing that drew me to tattooing as well, is kind of like, you know, kind of a parallel to that. Where I wanted to bring in a piece today. I used to do large figures, so typically like females, but I would distort the bodies so they would almost look like landscapes. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Cool.
and
Very interesting.
yeah, and it was just like,
Why are you doing an art show in here?
I was just gonna
yeah,
say.
why don't we?
Yeah,
we'll
for
do
sure.
that next time.
Yeah, she should.
Oh, for sure you should.
Yeah,
I
let's
didn't
Yeah.
even know you did this.
I know, when I
Yeah.
saw this, I went like, well, I saw that, like I said, a lot of tattoo people come from the art world. Too.
Well, I
A lot of
know.
them do.
You can tell
Yeah.
too the way somebody's head works, you know what I mean? Like there's people who are mathematical in the way they look at the world, and then there's people, I think the three of us for sure, I bet a bunch of you out there as well,
Yeah,
kind of look at the world differently and look at it like,
Yeah.
I used to tell my kids,
right
it's
brain,
with an artistic heart,
right brainy.
right? Yeah, Bonnie and I were talking about this
Yeah.
exact thing.
Yeah, we're right brain.
Yeah, oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, left brain is analytical and thinking a lot, and we're more creative in our thoughts. Which
Okay.
you are. You can
Yeah.
tell by, we can tell by, like I was saying one day, you can tell by the way we all dress too. I mean, we don't dress like this just because we think we want to. I think we
Yeah.
do it because we will express ourselves too,
Yeah,
right?
for sure, dude.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's what we do. And a lot of people don't get that. They think you're showing off or you're trying to be something different, right? You're not. You're just
No.
you're just expressing what's coming out of you.
That's
know?
right.
You know.
The blackness of my heart.
Yeah.
But it was like,
Oh, we're all black.
yeah, we're all in black.
Look at you, that's green.
I know, I'm sorry.
Get out.
Shame.
You gotta have some shade here. But it's a dark green.
It's
That's
a
right.
moldy dark
That's
green.
But honestly, like, as you're asking, like, has it changed my painting? 100%. Because as I was saying, I came from a traditional oil paint, acrylic. But one thing that fucking scared me, watercolor.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watercolor.
I've seen that.
Like, if you guys have painted with watercolor,
Yeah, I've tried. It's pretty
like,
hard.
it's funny because like oil paint, you can slap it on, you can take it off, get some fucking,
Right.
yeah, like you can take it off, whatever. Watercolor, once it's on, it's on.
Re-gesso or whatever.
Yeah,
you
no
know, right?
problem.
Yeah.
But with watercolor, layering, all this stuff, but it gets to a point where it can be done, you know? And so that was one thing my mentor taught me. He's like, you gotta love the watercolor. You gotta get in there, and you just gotta do it until you get good at it. And so that, now I
Your
can...
art mentor or Annie?
Annie.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can sit down and me and watercolor are friends, and we've learned how to live in a nice little life together. And
I love those watercolor tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna stick because they got no outline.
yeah.
They
Oh,
look-
the actual watercolor. Yeah.
They look fucking cool,
Yeah.
but I think they're gonna fade away.
Yeah. Well, all art does in a way, you know.
Whoa.
Yeah. Boom.
Welcome to church,
Yeah.
everyone.
That's like that happened to my dragon one here, right? I got it done, and I noticed fade a little bit. Though when I went to the guy I used to go to, if I go every now and then to Jamie, and Jamie looks at me and he goes, "What do you need?" I says, "Well, I want you to fix this." He looks and he goes, "It was really detailed. I'll show you later." And I went, "I want you to fix it, make it look new again."
Yeah.
He looks at me, he goes, "You crazy?" He goes, "He's old, right?" And I said, he goes, "Okay, I'll outline it." So he outlined the whole thing just to make it look, and it looked better. Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
And that's the thing, like just like your skin.
I want him to do the whole thing, but he wouldn't do it.
Well,
He says, "I can't reproduce that."
yeah, and that's the thing, because like once it's on you, like your body, especially your skin, is the largest organ.
Have you ever tattooed hands?
Yeah, yours, baby.
My hands!
Actually, I was thinking like we should have done the interview with me actually tattooing.
We were
you.
saying
We're
that.
saying
earlier.
that. So you know what we'll do
Yeah.
next time
6
she
hour
does the
podcast.
artwork?
Yeah.
Bring the art. We'll do the tattoo too.
Yeah, we'll sit here. People can walk around and they can watch us tattoo.
There you go.
Full
No.
back piece podcast.
No.
Well, hey, there you go. Now you're thinking.
I've got a back piece and it's huge, but it's so old now, but I never look at it, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I look at it, it's like, oh my god. Because I've got these ideas, oh, I like this color, this.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so old and so ratchet now. It's like, that's what it is. That's my tattoo for
At least you're okay with it being like
Oh, I'm
how it
super
is,
okay.
right? And yeah, I know you
with
are.
all my tattoos. I love them all.
But one thing is,
I
it's
love
like
these ones. I love these ones.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like
I
them.
love those.
But one thing I did watch my mentor do is revamp and like either cover ups or touch ups to like tattoos. Like one person came in and she was able to give life again to the tattoo, and I sat there and I'm like, man, like that's what I want to do. I want to learn how to make the skin beautiful, and like if it, like for you, how you want to wear how do you want to wear your skin, right? So for you, if you want to like revamp that, like unfortunately if your previous artist doesn't want to, can't do it, there might be other artists out there that
That's right.
will,
You
right?
know,
Like,
it's funny though too when you bring that up. When I went one time I went to Jamie and he was doing something new on me, but then he started noticing other things from
Yeah.
somebody else did.
Yeah.
And he starts touching.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like, I go, what are you doing? He goes, don't worry about it, it's free.
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
and he's doing like 1,000 things on me. Oh, look at this over here. I didn't do that. Let me fix that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, fuck. I let him do it. I just at the end of it, I go, what the hell? I'm getting it done for next month.
Sounds like a good friend. If you're
Yeah,
asking me,
yeah.
a good friend.
There you go.
They're killer tattoos though too.
Yeah, but I like that.
When did you
That's
get your
so
first
simple.
tattoo?
See how simple that is,
Yeah,
but that's
that's
so
dope.
so effective.
Yeah, it's
Did you do that with the no?
I actually got it when I got married.
Okay.
During so my wife and I had
Yeah.
our ceremony, and because I'm a longshoreman, I can't really wear rings or anything,
right.
Yeah, you can't.
Buddy, I want all I want all 10 digits here, right?
Well,
I
keep
need,
'em.
I
Yeah,
need
I
to
know
work
what
with
you do.
these.
Yeah.
So one of the things I said to my wife is like, you know, we should do something to represent us and everything like that. So this is actually the Viking ruin, Elder
Yes, it
Ruar,
is. Yeah.
called Gepo,
Yeah.
and it stands for community, love, and basically, yeah, community and love. And so for me, I was like, well, it stands for our marriage, and we went. Well,
Are you
everyone.
crying listening to this right now, Chelsea?
Yeah,
I
this
hope
is for
so.
you, babe.
Because we're all crying a little inside.
Yeah. So, well, everyone was getting ready for the reception after. We ran down, and we hooked up with one of my favorite local artists, Jalapeno Springs. She was working out of.
It's a great name. I love that.
Like, she's wicked.
I love people.
She's wicked. If you haven't seen
that
her
could be a
work-
drink.
She is a drink, you know. You want to slurp that up? Tell you what, like she's mint. But yeah, so Chelsea and I ran down and we got these, and so that's the power of like tattoos, right? For you, it just like it might look like a stupid X.
No,
or whatever.
I like
no, but like for us, it like symbolizes
Yeah,
that.
I liked it because I knew it was I knew it was the Viking thing.
Yeah.
But I like the simplicity of it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
totally.
I like a lot of intricate stuff,
Yeah.
but I do like the simplicity of things too, right? The easy
Definitely.
tattoos, the ones that are really simple and straightforward, I kind of like a lot. Because I think it means something, right? It means something like it did for you. It meant
Yeah.
something, right? So
100%.
yeah, that's what I like. So now all this here, when did this start? Like this, while we're talking beside tattoos, these, like I said, I'm just blown away by this. So when did you start this shit?
Through the door.
Like, was this beforehand? Was this before the tattooing, of course?
Yeah, so I've only been tattooing on my own since September of last year.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I had my year apprenticeship. But I went to university and I graduated 2017.
At UBC or?
I
SFU?
wish.
Kwantlen.
Kwantlen.
Oh, Cortland College.
Yeah,
Cool.
Kwantlen Polytechnic University now.
University now.
That's
yes.
right. When I started,
That's right.
basically I was working at this office and I was a office manager, and I was looking at my life. I'm like, this doesn't make me fucking happy.
Yeah.
What makes me happy?
Yeah.
Art. And so I've
Smart.
always been an artist.
Yeah.
Some of my first memories is me sitting in the kitchen with my crayons and everything, just on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
And like, I just love drawing. Every day I'd come home and draw. My parents were actually really supportive with me in my arts, like throughout high school. I was always in art school, and you know when the teachers come up to you, what are you going to be when you're older, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm going to be an artist. And at one point I'm like, and a longshoreman. And I remember my teacher being like, you need to have more than just that. And I'm like, do I? Like,
Yeah,
and I told her.
You don't even have to do that.
But my mom and my dad were always supportive. They were helping me, like, you know.
Are your folks longshoremen?
My stepdad is.
There you go.
But
there you go.
so he was our like way in. And then now all my
Ride a
siblings.
motorcycle? Just curious.
Yeah, of course. Harley, baby, here we go. Brum brum.
Support.
Gotta support.
Yeah.
But
Has somebody gotten that tattoo that
no, isn't that?
samurai had?
Yeah, my napakuki. I think that's how you say it in Japanese. It's basically severed head. Napakuki. And so that's a geisha napakuki.
I
Yeah,
wondered
that's
if
very
it was
cool.
a girl, but I didn't want to be racist, so it
No, it's very
No,
cool.
yeah.
I love the Japanese stuff.
Buddy.
That's my
That
favorite.
looks killer.
That's one of my favorites.
I love Japanese culture, history. In
Yeah.
university, I had to take a humanities course where we
Yeah.
like studied other things, and so mine was Japan,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And then I actually went to Japan.
Mhm.
If you guys haven't been, I highly suggest it. Just everything, the
Nope.
food, the culture.
Have you done this one yet? Yeah.
No, that scares the shit out of
I
me.
know. My buddy Jamie, who I told you about, he
Yeah.
did. He went studying and did it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so old school.
I asked him about it, and he
Yeah.
said it was really, really hard. And he says it fucking hurts like hell.
Fuck yeah.
But he says it's like really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really
It's-
cool. He had it done on his back, all over his fucking back.
Can you imagine packing in color with that?
No, I could
He
not.
learned it. The guy taught him.
Oh, sure,
The
yeah.
guy's taught. He knows how to do it too.
And so,
Good. But he actually got the tattoo done, and then the guy actually showed him how to actually do it.
Who are you? Some of your favorites? And one of my favorites is Mike Campitelli at Supercat.
oh, Mike, he's wicked.
He's
yeah, I actually
wicked.
have one of Mike's on the back of my leg here. Went in there
I
and
can't afford him.
good job, Mike. This is for you. Yeah, janky bangers. Here we go. But some of my favorite local artists is one top down is like Meowsin. She also.
She was there. She's so good.
Yeah, I have
Her
a lot of
stuff
work
is
from her.
so fucking creative, man,
I just like.
and dark.
That's what I'm talking about. She's.
I love this here. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, it's all good. But
that really catches me.
Yeah.
I like the flow of it. You know
Yeah.
how it's flowing.
yeah,
That is so cool. It's like it's moving.
yeah.
It's like movable.
So, well, first, Meowsin, I have like basically whole leg pieces from her, and she was one that inspired me to want to gravitate to tattooing.
Oh,
I would get work done by her, and I'd sit there and I'd ask her questions, and I'm sitting there like, I want to be you, I want to be like this.
who wouldn't want to be her?
She's
She's
dope.
fucking cool as shit. man.
Yeah, and she's so down to earth, which is awesome.
Yeah, she's
Um,
really solid.
But I know you asked which was my first tattoo, and it was actually this one here.
That skeleton?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
very
my
cool.
representation of death. But so this artist,
This is
her
very
name
cool.
her name is Tina Lugo,
Okay.
and what's awesome is I used to follow her and her artwork. She would do this amazing glasswork painting, but she would do Japanese styles, but in kink, like so it'd be like
Oh, wow.
crazy like kinky girls and all this stuff. And she grew up in New York, and she went to school there. But she started off in fashion, and fashion went into like fabrics, went into like glass painting,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, she moved to Portland, Oregon, and started tattooing.
Okay.
Well, when I saw that, I was like, boom, that's who I'm getting my first tattoo from.
Whoa.
So I went down to Oregon and got this one, and fell in love with her, fell in love with like the art. Basically on my way home on the bus, I was already emailing her, what are we gonna do next? And so I went back and I got this piece from her, and over about a 3-year span, I was going down like every few months, and so she started working on
Oh,
this.
that whole sleeve is her?
Yeah, this whole sleeve, so it actually starts from here and goes all the way down to the middle of my ribs. And she, ribs are fine, you're good. But she actually freehanded this. She freehanded this. That's how much.
That's so cool.
That's trust.
That's how much I love her work.
Yeah.
I love her, and I
yeah,
trusted her. And anything she did, like she was like, well, what are we gonna do here? And another I love manga, and so
Yeah,
this
yeah.
horror manga author, his name is Junji Ito, and actually I was sitting at her shop and I was going through, I'm like, this is awesome, and I fell in love with his work, and I was like, I want you to do something like him, but with your representation in it. And so she free-handed all this, and yeah, and then once she did this, I went back and we have like this weird plant monster here, and yeah, I got the bug, I got the tattoo bug, and
Yeah.
it started with her, and then started coming over here.
That's more trad.
That's right. And so I have like my fine line work
You got
here.
like the black dark, and you got the more colored ones on this side here.
Yeah, so here's a Meowsin.
Yeah.
Another wicked tattoo artist is Lip Rat.
That is packed.
He would call it hammer time. He was like, "You ready for hammer time?" I'm like,
Look at that. Look how fucking
Buddy,
packed that
that
is.
shit's not going nowhere.
No, dude.
No, so, but unfortunately he moved to Edmonton, so now if I want to go see him, I have
Don't
to go
go,
to,
don't
yeah.
go.
He has to come here, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He actually came, I think it was last week, he luckily does guest stars and like, whatever. So he's wicked, and then this bad boy is tattoos by Alec, and right now he's working at Victoria Tattooing up on Main Street. He's wicked. He does a lot of contemporary, like neo-traditional work, and then he also does a lot of like Japanese-inspired as well. And yeah, like what's wicked about Vancouver is that you can find so many good artists around here, coming from all walks of life, all
Oh,
different.
that's
like,
interesting, because I was going to talk about that too. Like, talking to Janky Bangers particularly, he's like, there's a huge glut. Like, there's so much,
Yeah.
so many artists here.
Yeah.
I mean, well, whatever happened at Black Rider, I don't know exactly, but a couple of those dudes went over to Super Cat, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
like
that's-
Eric and
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Did Eric go there too?
Yeah.
Eric's there too. then.
Yeah. And he just tattooed a buddy of mine last week.
Eric's
and
really good.
he's so good. Like
If-
he is
If
so
you're
good
not
in his
good,
color.
don't go there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're
yeah.
going to feel like an idiot.
That's right.
No, but
man.
Eric is really good.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sure.
I've tried to get Eric, and I can't even get a good appointment for Eric. He goes, Joe, it's this long.
I
It's
know.
so long."
I know.
And
I was
and
looking too.
I said to him, like, forget it, I can't wait.
That's just it. Like, he just got, my buddy got a piece done from him last week on his thigh, and it's wicked. The colors, it's the skeleton smoking. And I don't know if you've seen it in
Yeah,
the
I've
cowboy
seen
hat.
that,
Oh,
yeah.
buddy, it's wicked. And like, I'm like, I want him to do my back piece. Like, he is
Yeah,
like,
he's pretty good.
well,
He's
it's
good.
awesome because his work, like, what these artists are really good at doing is using the negative space. Like,
Yeah,
so,
right.
like, yeah, like, that's something as a growing tattoo artist. Like, I know, you know, I just started and I have a long road ahead of me to be able to get to where I'm happy. But, like, seeing his work, for example, like, how he uses the smoke, the negative space, like he didn't have to even like shade it in. It was the background that brought it forward, and he was like the cigarette light like bounced off it. So it's beautiful. Like you can go around and you get different styles, you get different like outcomes of like what you want. I don't know. It's so many different artists around here are fucking wicked.
It's not surprising that so many musicians are tattooed too, you know what I mean? Just
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about that right now. Like, it's the same idea, man. You want to put
Well, it's
ideas and
you want to express
beauty
yourself, right?
and
Yeah.
poetry into the world, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, that's fucking poetry.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Trying to-
That's, I just, like I said, it's flowing. It's actually, like, I don't know, I'm not on drugs, people, but I'm trying to say, you know, it's kind
Joe's
of.
on drugs.
Yeah, it's kind of moving, right?
Yeah.
It moves with the arm, right? You
Yeah,
know,
it's
it moves
really-
with the actual movement, and
Yeah.
and you don't see that in a lot of tattoos, right? Where they're actually, you know, they're moving with you. You know, they're like, you know, they're kind of stationary, some of them, right? You know,
Totally.
which is fine because they're showing the piece, but
Little hot stuff.
yeah,
Tasmanian devil.
yeah.
Or like
That's
my
cool.
sister, or my sibling, they have Barks root beer can right there. Boom, that was their first
Well,
tattoo.
that's cool.
You know, like
Yeah, man.
to each their own.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Everybody's
It's
different.
delicious.
Everybody's different. Yeah.
And that's just it, right? Like, so, like, tattoos, you make it what you want, you know? Like, you go into a tattoo artist and you're like, hey, I want something that's gonna be, like, sticker type, right? Like these are kind of like a sticker idea, right?
Yeah, they're like the
Sticker-
flash, they're like the
Yeah.
flash ones you got on there, right? Yeah.
That's right.
And
yeah.
that's the original, like that's the old school stuff, the flash stuff, right? Is
That's why my tattoos look the way my
yeah,
tattoos look.
yeah, the flash
I'll
ones.
stick
Like,
this on.
well, yeah, I like that too.
I do too.
I do like,
Sometimes
I like
I
that
think
way.
about like
I like
stuff
both.
like that to have a full.
Well, what I like what
I like
she's,
both,
what I
yeah.
like what Katie's done is she's got the flash point on one side and she's got the flowing one on the other. It shows off both,
Yeah.
right?
Do you like
Smart
that?
move on
Katie
your
and I have
artwork,
this
right?
great idea to tie my arms together, though, right?
That's right,
Yeah,
bro.
we do.
Yee! But I also like it's not just on the arms too. Now it's going down to like so now on this side of the body,
Yeah.
it's my black line work, and then on the right I have my traditional like this. So it's
So you're
like,
going the other
Oh,
way.
I'm
that's
going,
cool.
I'm going the other way.
That's
So,
smart.
Yeah, it's just like something different. But
Yeah.
like,
Plus, when you're breakdancing,
oh buddy, I look sick.
That's gonna
right?
look sick, yeah.
yeah.
There you
it's
go.
gonna really make you sick.
It literally sick,
Yeah.
especially spinning on my head.
Now,
So,
here's
so
something.
you break dance.
No, I break when I dance. I
so
break.
she not only is she tattoos and she's break dancing too. Oh, okay.
No,
No,
now,
no,
here's
not at
something.
all.
Are you interested in horror movies at all?
Just a wee bit, yeah. I
Okay.
love me a
You've
good
seen
horror.
one?
Yeah, once or twice. I might have a couple horror themes on me. I have Michael Myers, I have Dracula, I have, and then in my mind I have so many more that I want
That's
to do. One that I actually want my mentor to do is Midsummer. Have you guys
Oh
seen?
yeah. That
Classic.
fucking cliff scene.
Buddy, I
Killed
love
me.
it.
Killed me.
Killed her actually.
Well.
Eh. Well, that's a movie that I could like I put on and I can go to sleep to. You know, like I love horror movies.
Yeah,
like
you're-
if it's not horror, don't have it.
No,
Like
you're
no
in.
need.
For sure.
So
Who's your favorite monster?
Monster or serial killer or
It's
okay,
a
because
good
like
one.
okay,
Mine's Dracula.
okay, Dracula is.
Dracula's my favorite.
Dracula's great. I love me a good
Pretty cool.
Dracula. I have Dracula on my outer thigh
Which
here.
Dracula?
Bram Stoker is
Oh,
obviously
right,
yeah.
Right, you told
Yeah,
me.
that's
That's
it.
right. And then on the back of my
From
leg.
that movie, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Myers. Michael Myers terrifies me, and he has since I was little. What was great when I was little, every Friday, my dad used to take me and my sibling out and be like, "Hey, let's go get some movies." He didn't care what we watched, buddy. I was watching like Aliens. I was watching all the Halloween,
Fuck,
like
man. My mom too took us to The Exorcist.
Exorcist.
It's Alive.
saw that one. Yeah.
Oh my god.
How about Carrie? Carrie's another one.
Oh, I love Carrie.
Fucking
Yeah, Carrie. The hand
invasion
comes
of
out
the
at
body
end.
snatchers.
Oh yeah.
I never forget that. I went to see that when it first came out, right? So I was sitting in the theater. You people used to be able to smoke
Oh
in
yeah.
the lobby, not in the actual theater. But you
I
could
remember
smoke
smoking in the
You
theater.
used to be able to do
In the
that.
back, yeah.
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah.
But you could smoke. At this point, it was the lobby, right? They moved it out,
Yeah.
and it was the lobby. And I went and watched it, and the minute the hand came up at the end of my girlfriend, like I fucking jumped up.
yeah.
Everybody half the theater jumped up, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I'll be back. You know, my girlfriend's fine. She's just sitting there, right? Well, see what's next. And I walked out to the lobby, and everybody's like,
yeah.
they're all fucking lighting up.
Oh, yeah.
They're going, holy fuck, right? And I'm going like, "Oh, man, that was freaked me out. And my girlfriend was, you okay? I go, I'm fine now. I'm good.
Remember when they re-edited or whatever The Exorcist and there's that scene where she does that thing down the stairs?
Yeah, oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Reagan
Yeah.
comes
Scary
down the
shit, yeah.
stairs.
Yeah.
And I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie way too many times. I knew that scene was coming, and when that happened, man, I was horrified. I was I'm a
Freaked
little
right out.
scared thinking about it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
It was so
You
good.
know, I had a friend that went and seen that when it first came out in high school, and he went and he laughed through the whole thing. He laughed.
Wow.
He laughed.
Oh,
He got
no.
thrown out.
Oh, good.
They threw him out of the theater.
Straight into the.
Well,
psych
good. If
ward.
you can't appreciate
He was
good
no,
art-
he wasn't laughing at like how he thought it was lousy. He laughed at it like he thought it was like
That could be a
hilarious how all these things were happening.
Oh,
like he
that's-
took it in and he told me, he said, I said, I thought the movie was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he just thought, he says, I just laughed because I was just like reacting to the way they did it, all the stunts and
Yeah.
everything, and you know when the vomit came out, he was like, ha 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 ha.
Oh, really?
And they threw him out. They said, "You're out. You get out, sir."
Wow.
You know, and they kicked him out. And he goes,
Where
I got kicked out. He says, it's just a movie, man. Like you know,
Yeah.
like it's I'm not freaked by it, right? You know.
That whole movie, though, if you
I
look
was
back,
freaked by it.
I like my aunt. She apparently went, and my mother-in-law. She says she was like young. Her couple friends went, snuck in, and she's like, I was so scared for 2 weeks. Like, couldn't even sleep with the lights off or anything.
Oh yeah.
Like was like my one aunt left. I think it was after 5 minutes because she thought it was like God was going to be mad at her for going. But what's interesting is there's actually this whole conspiracy that movie was basically what's it called? Cursed. The movie was cursed because they had a guy die on set.
Yeah.
And
like the Crow sort of thing, like that the Crow.
Oh
guy,
yeah, and so
where there was accidents and everything happening. Yeah.
on Crave, or not Crave, on Prime, there's this documentary you can watch, and it follows different horror movies. And the first one is The Exorcist, and they had so many incidences, and like for example, one of the guys who was a nurse. You know when Reagan gets sent to the hospital and they're doing all the tests.
Yeah.
So one of the guys, he's this like redheaded nurse. Right after the movie or during filming or whatever, he ended up killing his like wife or something like that, and he went to jail.
Yeah.
And so like there's little things like that, and like the actress who played Reagan, she went through a lot of like health issues, especially while she's
I heard about that. Yes,
well,
that's right.
yeah, she's in the bed flopping around and everything.
Yeah.
And
I heard about that.
Yeah, it was insane. Like so, there's that, and even Poltergeist. That's another one.
Yes.
Classic. Love Poltergeist 1, 2, 3. And they said that film was cursed as well. The little actress, who I forget her name, she died after the third one.
Yeah.
And she was found. She had some sort of special cancer that diagnosed in the second.
Weird shit.
Yeah, and so
It's all that negative. It's all that negative energy they're trying not to put out when they're putting out. You know what scares me is that what's the name of that clown? That
It.
yeah.
Yeah.
The cook. Is his name it? What is it?
Well, it's Pennywise.
Pennywise
the clown.
he drives me. He's scary as fuck.
Well,
I have not seen Pennywise, but when I see the clips, he
Yeah.
freaks me out.
Do you
like
know-
he's kind of freaky?
Pretty freaky.
buddy, that whole thing. So
yeah, it's
I'm
Pennywise. Yeah, that's him.
I'm actually reading It right now.
Yeah.
By Stephen King. I'm on a little Stephen King binge.
Hear that, Ryle? You love him.
Woo!
That's Ryle's favorite.
Ryle, yeah. It's just like Stephen King is just like he's a mastermind. But I've read The Shining,
Yes.
Salem's Lot,
Shining. That's
Doctor
great.
Sleep, and now I'm on It. And I actually have to take a break after. Like I'm almost done. I have like 2 more chapters, but it is
Intense.
so bizarre and intense.
Yeah.
Pennywise.
He looks like he's pretty fucking mean.
Oh,
It's
have you read?
more
It's like
than like you could like Stephen King. Where do you come up with this shit, guy? Like,
Yeah,
where do
yeah,
you
yeah.
come up
drugs,
with?
I think.
Yeah, probably. He was writing in like what the 70s or
Yeah.
whatever.
He said he
Or
was
sorry,
so-
no,
So he
like
was so fucked up he forgot writing books.
oh, there you go.
So that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Pretty weird guy. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy kind of freaks me out.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
new one out too. Did you see the new character they got today
No.
this month on TV? It's called Valentine's Eyes.
No, I have not.
Oh, you gotta
Haven't
watch
seen
that. I saw the trailer for that.
Okay.
It looks like this new guy is going to be pretty freaky. They say brand new series. This is going to they call it Valentine Eyes, and the guy's and he's got a mask a mask with red eyes. Like I think it's if I remember correct, it's shape of hearts.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the shape of hearts, and he's got a zipper
Oh
and everything.
boy.
So he's going to be interesting to watch.
But I think one thing that like I love horror, and I think that draws me to it.
A lot of this stuff's pretty horror.
Yeah.
No, this stuff is very.
Well,
It's
that's
like-
super horror.
Well, it's because like
I love
life is scary, you know. Like
Yes,
I
it
found when I was younger, I was very anxious and like just kind of scared of the world in a way. And so when I went to horror movies, like seeing it in film, like monsters, like ghosts, that sort of thing, never really scared me. It was actually like the serial killers. It's the people. People
Right.
fucking scare me.
People are scary.
People are fucking scary.
Well,
beautiful.
Frankenstein
And
didn't
beautiful.
freak me out. I never was,
Frankenstein's great.
I
Frankenstein,
kind of felt sorry for the poor bugger.
That's the
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, I
'Cause
feel
that's the
sorry for
story.
him.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, kind of sorry.
Yeah,
The Wolf
people-
Man too was another guy I kind of felt sorry for, right?
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Like,
it's just, those were kind of the ones that you're kind of like, Then you know what I like about the dark stuff too is, but I like the comedy stuff. I like the Addams Family.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters.
They're so kooky.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
rookie and they're kooky.
Yeah,
I mean, I love that shit because it's just, it's.
But it plays on the human psyche and stuff,
Yeah.
and so like what you think a normal person is, like Adam's family. What's a normal family? Honestly, I bet you more families are more related to what like Adam's families are,
Oh,
right?
sure,
than what we think.
I think
right?
they're way more together than a lot of families.
Oh, hell yeah, they're in love. They're still married. They got grandma still hanging out, and
Madly
they
in love, yeah.
yeah, and they got the kids that
Yeah.
actually play together and like each other. Yeah, they try to kill each other, but
Festive.
Fester.
That's pretty normal. Normal.
Yeah, and so, but yeah.
Oh, the monsters! Remember the monsters?
Oh yeah,
The
the
monsters are great.
and so like yeah, I think that was one thing that really drew me to like horror is that like if I can watch this and I can sit down because I could never even do gore, like any blood or anything like that used to gross me out as a kid to a point where I'd be like, I'm gonna faint, like ugh. But then I like you watch the movies and you get kind of disassociated with
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
disassociated with like the gruesome. But then like that's life. Like
Do you like like when I was a kid growing up and talking about East Vancouver, the P&E back in the early days of the P&E, they used to have these tents and they would have like the freak shows
ooh,
and
Cool.
and then they'd have like the Miss Tattoo and she'd be
Yeah.
like covered in tattoos from
yeah,
head to toe. I mean seriously, and that was considered like
a freak.
freakish back
Yeah.
then, right? Or the world's tallest, the biggest giant, right? The giant. The guy was big. I mean, maybe 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
and had huge hands. You take the ring, you could take his ring off and put it go around your whole hand.
Oh
Like
my God.
it was just, there were people like that, right?
I
Yeah.
grew up in Niagara Falls, man. We
So
used to
you
go
must
to
have seen all that.
Sandy Allen, we'd go to her house can't tell you why we'd go to her house. But we go to her house and she's the world's tallest woman.
Oh,
It was
cool.
Freaky. We go there to buy a certain thing from her.
Right.
But you can't go there if you're on that certain thing because you'll flip out because
Yeah.
she's the world's tallest woman and you're gonna lose your shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But so was she part of like a freak show?
She would go and do a thing at Ripley's, believe it or not.
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
And
Because all that stuff's
the
really cool
Guinness
too,
Museum,
right?
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, right? They had all that
Yeah.
weird stuff.
Yeah, because they used to do that, and they used to have tattoo artists at the P&E back in the
Really?
day. Yeah, they'd have people tattoo you.
That'd be
Yeah,
sweet.
like real tattoo,
Now you gotta go to a tattoo. I got tattooed there at a tattoo convention.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the tattoo
Fun.
convention was
It was
very
weird.
cool. That one was very cool that one year.
Super
yeah.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I got-
really cool.
I got this jughead done.
Oh,
yeah.
that's sick.
Yeah, that was a cool
It was
year.
super weird though, because there's people, just strangers, just
Oh, people watching you
fucking
everywhere.
judging.
You know what?
Yeah,
You know what? It was
yeah.
a great. They
Super weird, man.
They had people from all over the world.
Oh yeah, it was
They
wild.
had bands playing.
Oh yeah.
It was really good. I thought that was the best tattoo show I ever saw.
That's
It was so cool.
It
But-
was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Right, you say that. But it's like, let's say, one of the first guests we had on here, Brian Holden. We talked about that quickly, going off topic, but we went to when we were in LA one time. We went to Venice Beach. We go to Venice Beach all the time because that's where all the freaks hang out.
Oh,
Right?
so-
And tattoo shops everywhere down there. And it's
They had
really.
the freak show there, man.
And you know what? We went to the freak show.
Me too.
And-
I took the kids.
And the bearded lady was hitting on Brian Holden.
Oh yes, that's
Nice.
awesome.
And I said to Brian goes, well, somebody's hitting on me, at least. I says, hey, get a raise. I says, get a barber thing and you'll be fine with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, right? Get better, Brian. Maybe she's single.
But anyways, yeah, but all that, you a macabre sort of dark stuff.
Yeah.
Are you drawn to that with your art too, you think?
100%. I have people like when I'm drawing, I draw all the time. So even at my other job, while I'm longshoring and stuff, while I have a break or anything like that, I sit there and I'm doodling and I'm drawing. And I like to draw monsters and everything.
Cool.
And I have like bosses come up and, what are you drawing? Okay, another monster. Cool. I had one boss come up and he's like, you must be fucked in the head, hey? Like, this is what you're fucking drawing all the time. I'm like, I don't know, I just like it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just
the
like,
argument would be that's why you're not fucked in the head.
yeah, there you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just
yes,
like,
yes,
I don't
yes.
know, it's I believe like with fantasy, with like that sort of horror stuff, like it allows you to not be yourself as well, and you kind of
Yeah.
get to like search different aspects of like what the reality is, right? Like what are we on a day-to-day basis, like what are we living in, right? My reality is different than yours and everything like that.
Sure,
And then at a young age, like, yeah, I was always drawn to like stories, dark stories, like creepy stories and like that sort of thing. But we were raised with, my mom was a foster parent.
Right.
And so when I was 7, we started getting foster kids in the house. And I didn't really understand why kids were coming to live with us. And I think that becoming like a foster family made me grow up pretty fast. Like, kids would come in and I'd be like, Mom, why are the kids coming here? And she's like, oh, they can't live with their families. I'm like, why not? And then, you know, you learn the evil, like, and the hard...
You learn the hard stuff, right?
Yeah,
my girl, like I was telling earlier, but my first girlfriend, her parents did that.
Yeah.
They had foster children too, because they couldn't have any more kids, and they wanted to foster. So they thought, well, we'll take that on.
Yeah.
And they did it. They did it, I think, with 2 kids. I think. Yeah.
I think my mom said that over the year she fostered for about 23 years, and we had about 36 kids come in and out. My mom would help. Like she would do respite, so she would help kids on the weekends and everything. But at one time, there's myself and 3 siblings, like, who are my family.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 little girls come move in with us when they were 2 and 3. Cool. And the eldest left when she was 21.
Wow.
So, like, she was really, like,
so basically one part of your family.
And then my little brother, same thing. He came in when he was 6, and he left when he was 19. And then throughout the years, we had people come in.
Did I meet him?
No. Unfortunately, I haven't met any of them. Because like sometimes like you can't keep in contact, and life happens. Oh no, we can, but it's just like just life, man. And like nature versus nurture. Like nature takes over, and they have the option of like stay in contact or not. But what I'm trying to get at is like at a young age, like learning like that like. The world isn't all butterfly and fucking lollipops,
No,
it's
not.
And
not at the end of the day.
Yeah, and so like unfortunately, throughout my life I've had a lot of like just interactions with people that have had hard lives, or like I've known a lot of people who've died, and like especially like my first like experience with death is probably when I was like 7. My uncle passed away from cancer. And then at age 8, my neighbor, their little kid, had like infant death syndrome, SIDS. And so like I even saw that.
Infant death syndrome.
Yeah, and so like I learned at a young age that it's not like all like rainbows and fucking lollipops, right? So
you learned that fast working. Him and I worked in healthcare, so.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's just it. And
30 years of seeing everything that you could think of, right?
100%.
I've seen people born, I've seen people die, I've seen people sick, seen people suffering, seen all that, and then after a while you just like, fuck.
Yeah.
It says after a while you start getting, like him and me, you end up getting, what's the word I could use? Fed up is a good word.
Sure, traumatized.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Like you get to a point where you go, I really gotta just deal with me because the rest of it's coming at me really fast.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna slow it down somehow.
I'm just gonna cut hair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut hair and hang out with people I like and Immy's band and everything's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And artists and fucking musicians and knock around guys and gangsters and all just people that I groove on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like you need an outlet. Like so, like for myself, art was a thing for me. How do
Sure,
I
can see why.
yeah, how do I express myself? How do I get all these feelings inside out? Like, you know, at a young age, like you don't know what's coming or going. You don't know who you are, and so like using my art as a tool to like just express myself, because like I was even like I'm a gay woman, and I felt like I was closeted for a long time. I didn't come out until I was 20, and so like living.
So
in
how do you
Colombia-
find that now
Oh.
compared to?
That
So
seems
you're
pretty
free,
young
very
to me.
freedom, right?
Pardon me?
I'm very freeing, right?
Oh,
Would you
so
use
free.
it? Would you say that now so that you
Fuck
can?
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
So you can express yourself and you
100%.
and you know you're being yourself now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like growing up in the 90s and like early 2000s, like people like being
It hasn't
gay.
quite opened up. In the '90s, it wasn't quite there yet.
No.
It was starting, but
Yeah.
it hadn't gotten there.
There was no substance to it. Like everyone still said fag or queer or like anything like that.
Well, they
And so-
labeled you.
Yeah, and
I notice now that's not that you know I sort of think that labelness is going away.
yeah, and it's
What's kind of funny you bring that up. I really think it's now.
No, I was talking to
now-
gender.
yeah,
There's like there's certain things. If you say certain things, you're gonna get stroked in the chin for it.
yeah, but I
But
don't.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
slurs, right?
yeah.
You
Well,
told me.
I think you could get. I agree with you. I think slurs could be. You could be. Excuse me, but folks, but you could be. You could be. Could say a racist term too.
Well,
Like, and
that-
I don't mean like you know a gender
that-
thing. I'm talking like just a racist
All of
thing.
it
Yeah.
though, too, right? And
I think that's changing.
If you, yeah, you can't fuck up like that, and you can't just use it as an overarching.
The only people that do
Like
that.
Bonnie was saying, I call everyone an asshole
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I've been
well,
saying
everybody
everyone's
has one.
fucked.
Everybody has one.
That's what
Everyone
I
has
said.
a good
Yeah,
point.
See, that was my joke.
Yeah, everyone has one,
Yeah.
but that's
Joe was stealing my jokes.
Sorry about that.
no, but I believe
I
it.
sort of disagree with you. That's
Who's the asshole now?
yeah. Who's the asshole now? I could think of the people.
Welcome to the asshole
The only
couch.
problem. The only problem we all got now is I think there's a because it's more open now. Everything's open. Like everybody's more freer about what they're saying and expressing.
Yeah.
The problem with that now is that now you've got the other side of things
Oh, it's swinging hard the
Oh,
other way now.
swinging the other way back because they're saying, yeah, well, you know, fuck you, you know, we're sick and tired of listening to your shit
Yeah.
Yeah.
and all that. But here's the thing, that's, like you said, that's normal in life because what's going to happen is it's a balancing act. Eventually,
Totally.
it's got to balance out.
Yeah.
Where everything is you know, this is normal, and nobody's complaining anymore about
I
it.
think right now-
it hasn't gotten there. It
No.
hasn't gotten there.
And I felt
think
like
it's
we were
swayed
on our way
towards.
there.
Yeah.
I think it's swayed towards what Katie's saying, where they're freeing and they have more of people are being accepted more.
Yeah.
But then you've got those other people on the other side going like, I don't accept you, and they haven't
Look
learned
at
yet
the last-
that they haven't learned that. Yeah, well,
The
we don't
last 3
accept you
weeks in
either.
the States,
Right?
Exactly.
the last 3 weeks in the States are ugly as fuck, right?
Exactly.
And that's hard swing, but I don't think that's for
I don't
kids.
think that's
Oh, God.
new though, right?
Yeah,
I think
I
we
also,
have.
I don't think it's the majority. Well, here's the other thing. When I think about stuff like that, I always think everything's pretty fucking liberal. But I only ever go here, like East Van,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know that right away. It's very, very.
Like I don't go and just hang out in Mission or right or
Right?
or wherever the
yeah,
fuck.
I know
like,
what you're trying to say.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Well, you're looking at like say more like I'm say here in BC, you look at more at like the more. I guess the word would be straight up is more conservative type people.
Yeah.
And those conservative type people don't understand that there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
They haven't learned that yet. They think they're being invaded.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're not being fucking invaded. Just share everything. And,
We've been here the whole time. It's
That's-
just
Well,
like
that's
we're the
what-
one,
you know
we're the
what-
ones being repressed. I grew up in Cowtown down
Yeah,
in Surrey,
so you
right?
know what I'm talking
so like
about, yeah.
my whole life, did I know anyone gay? No. So did I think it was wrong? Yes. Did I hear people
As soon
put
as all
down
your friends
people?
moved out of
Yeah,
Surrey,
you know-
they all
you know,
became
see,
gay.
but that's just- but you know what I'm saying? Here you go. Funny you say that. So then you say that, and now when you said that you feel you know all those years of being
Recluse, yeah, and like-
reclusive and impressed. Perfect example of that is look at the First Nations people.
Yeah.
Perfect example of that. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Like, who are the fuck are you? Think you can come here and come back and take come back and take what we took? Well, excuse me, you took away from these people that they were here
just want
first.
that
They were
huge-
here fucking first.
100%.
So instead of being disrespectful to them, maybe you should learn how to respect them. And when you learn how to respect them, they'll respect you back. Until
100%.
then, there's nothing but chaos. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, even down in the States, they're talking about, you know, hey, we're going to recognize them because they see that happening up here.
Yeah, right.
But guess what? That's so far away down there.
Yeah.
Because the difference between them up here and them down there is these guys got smart, you know,
Yeah.
the First Nations people
I
got
think
smart, and they became lawyers,
Oh,
they
for
became
sure.
teachers,
It's,
they got
it's not,
smart.
It's
I
not
think
even became it. They were allowed to become.
Oh, fuck,
we
right.
became
Yes.
educated in
Yes.
what our past has done.
Yes.
And when I was in high school, a lot of people weren't taught about residential schools, and I was in the social honors class, and my teacher actually taught us, and I was blown away. I'd come home and tell my mom, and at that time, they were still going on. The last one was closed, and I think it was early 2000s, 2004, 2006, like that. 97 was the last one in like Abbotsford or something, up north. Regardless, the idea of reconciliation is now full-fledged in because they've been repressed for so long, and this is one type of peoples that have. And so, like I can't talk for them because I'm not First Nations. My wife is. She's half Indigenous and half white.
Yeah.
But like hearing about her and like her family and everything,
But
it's mental. But them becoming, they're now allowed to go to school. They're now allowed to be educated, and it's just like, you know, we have to sit back and look at history and be like, what have we done wrong, and how do we make it right? So in comparison to what you're saying of like what's happening in the States, yeah, you know, one big thing that kickstarted this a while ago was like the Me Too movement, right? And then it's just like, and then the whole BIPOC and everything, and people's talking about like people being repressed, and like down in the States, unfortunately, it was like African Americans and everything, and now that they're being like, they're demanding to be heard now, and like now, unfortunately, like with the conservatives and people that still think this is their right, like their right to hold a gun, their right to be white, like it's so fucking, it's stupid, and so they don't like being the repressed ones now, right? And so you get that like the wave, and so like
There's good. What happens in the end, it has to
Yeah.
be. There has to be a balance, right?
Mhm.
That the yin and yang, if you want to call it.
Totally.
It will come, but it takes a lot. It'll go back and swing back and forth
Yeah.
for a very long time before people just like mellow out, because it takes a long time. It takes a really long time for the. I mean, look how long it took for the First Nations people to start to be ready.
But right now,
generations.
finally they fucking win, and see what they did at the Burb Street Bridge.
No.
Just fucking went crazy. All those towers. Those are.
Yeah.
That's fucking killer.
Hey, well,
faster than anyone's done anything in this town, because they're, you know, okay, maybe some of these rules we have to apply, but it's not this massive bureaucracy. Mm-hmm. And they just went, okay, fucking let's go.
Yeah, they need places to put their families, their homes, and like that's
They're
what
smart. They're smart.
They're
They're
super
getting
smart.
they're getting
and
smart,
those things are fucking
and you know
huge,
what?
man.
And for people to
Those-
think,
that's gonna be killer.
you know where that all started too is a lot of that started too in Australia and New Zealand, where those governments started to recognize that the Aboriginal people deserve to be recognized because they are the people that founded that area. And the same thing goes here, and the same thing goes with gender stuff too.
Yeah.
It's all the same. It's
Yeah.
just like we said. I think it swings back and forth until people find that happy medium.
Yeah.
Because like if you watch, like I watch Bill Maher on Friday nights sometimes, and Bill will slam the left and he slams the right.
Right.
But he does that on purpose. He's doing that on purpose because he's trying to get everybody to
get in the middle.
come together in the middle and just stop it. Like stop the insane stuff and get to a
Well,
point
Joe,
where
when we were
everybody's-
kids, like, it wasn't like this at all. Like,
No, it was very.
my
the
mom
opposite.
wouldn't even tell me who she voted for.
Yeah,
I know now she voted liberal the whole time.
yeah.
But to her way of thinking, people have lost their lives over the right to have an anonymous vote, and she wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
My grandparents didn't talk about it. I know now they were liberals the whole time.
Yeah. That's good.
That's way better.
And then when you talk about liberals,
Because you talk to the neighbor.
but you know what?
And you don't know if the neighbor is voting NDP or whatever.
No,
know
you
what I
don't.
mean?
But
or
you-
a Whig or whatever they were,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but when you know, when you know now, like when people, like we should, we're talking politics and we're talking art, so everybody
Well,
knows.
it's integrated, really. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of people use art to express themselves and,
That's-
and
That's
be
where I was
free.
gonna go to.
Yeah.
And then
To
when you
free
talk
ourselves
about that
of
far
all
back,
this
when you
bullshit.
when you talk all that way back to where your parents, you're one of the first people that started doing that, and that's why a lot of people will probably trash me for this, but like Justin Trudeau's dad, Elliot
Yeah.
Trudeau, he's like the first guy to recognize the Indigenous people.
That's right. yeah.
He's the first guy that I know of that recognized that they need to be recognized, right? And I never forget the most iconic thing I ever watched was at Christmas time one time when he was on a canoe somewhere in Ontario, and he was in a Indian skin jacket with the frills.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the hat, for the winter hat, and he was going
Part
down,
of it.
and he was going down the river, and they were talking, they had the soundtrack, and he was going, and I looked at that, and I went, now that's Canadian.
Yeah.
Like that, he was trying to symbolize what we are, right?
Yeah.
And unify everybody, and I kind of went like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
that stuck in my head even to this day. I went, this guy is, like, that was so powerful,
Right.
of a message.
Right.
That
Okay.
message was like, hey, we're all together here. This is what we look like.
Yeah.
This is who we are. And I kind of went like, wow, what a smart friggin' fucking message. So
Yeah.
when I met Justin, I told this to Ash, I met Justin in North Burnaby one day when he first started running. And he walked up to me and said, hello, sir, he's politicking. And I walked up to him and I shook his hand. And I said to him, you know what? I'll vote for you. And I usually vote NDP, but I'll vote for you. And you know why I'm going to vote for you? And he goes, because my first vote was for your dad. And you know why I liked your dad? Because your dad took no shit from nobody.
That's right.
He stood his ground on
Against
shit.
fucking Nixon, man.
And he stood his ground. He went like this,
Yeah.
and he did
Good.
not take no
I'm
crap.
not a fan of fucking
And he
Justin
started
Trudeau,
cheering. He started tearing up, and
but he just did that to Trump too.
yeah, he just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he teared up. He looked at me. and He goes, "Thank you." And I says, "No." I says, "You get my vote this time."
Yeah.
I says, "Because I think your dad made Canada stand out because he got it. He got what we were."
Right.
And that's a huge thing. Like, that made me as a young
That's
kid
interesting, dude. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think about Canada differently than I did when I was little, for sure.
Yeah.
In the 70s and even into the 80s, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't what it is now. It is.
No, it's more international
It wasn't
now.
like America Light or whatever.
No,
or
no,
any-
no.
No, but I think even now it's being even more.
You would have never seen a fucking Nixon sign in somebody's yard, but people have Trump signs in Canada. What the flying fuck is that?
Well, and that's just.
Maybe not now.
No.
They did.
Well, they probably will now too, but even with what's happening down there, it's just like, and him saying that we should be a 51st state, like, are you kidding me? Us Canadians gonna be Americans? Like this could be its own podcast on itself, but what I'm trying to say is, we're gonna really question what it means to be Canadian, what is gonna happen. So like that, the medium is the message. You saw that guy, Trudeau, in gear, in a,
Elliot Trudeau.
yeah, in a full like First Nations piece and representing what he was saying. The people's like, we're gonna see more of that hopefully. But when you get these dickheads that are trying to repress us, then so it's like now as a like fuller, bigger picture, like more people are gonna get affected. And so what's funny is like it being
Right.
like it's gonna be
It's
big.
not the First Nation, it's the entire nation.
That's right.
Yeah,
and so
man.
like is
Yeah,
it gonna
yeah.
is it gonna make us stronger together? Like what's it mean to be Canadian? What's it mean to be yourself? What kind of freedoms can I have? So like last week or the week before, like they were saying down in the States that LGBTQ 2+ spirited, it's only LGB.
Yeah.
That's it. Like they're saying you can't say the rest of it. In the window shops, you know how we have the a lot of window shops
What
have
is it
like
now? LG what? LGBT?
BTQ+
No,
spirited.
but what are we allowed to be now?
No, down in the States.
No, what
sorry,
is it now?
LG.
And what's that meaning?
Lesbian, gay, bi.
Yeah, lesbian,
And that's
gay,
it.
bi. That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Not trans, not queer, not two-spirited, not like plus anything else that like goes under our rainbow.
So-
They're
so-
saying no, because he doesn't see it as being there's only two types of people, male and female. He doesn't even consider trans like that. Fuck you. Like, you know, like you can't tell me who I am, you can't tell me how I feel, and if you can't be somewhere safe, why be there, right? So he's even trying to get them to take down the gay flags from window shops. Like that idea of everyone being included is gone right out the door. So for being Canadian, like why would we not want everyone to feel included?
So
And,
the
like,
thing
I mean,
If,
fuck.
if that was the case, we were out of business.
Yeah, well, that's right.
If
Like
gay people don't come here, we're fucked.
That's right, and that's just like, but that's the thing, because like,
So, but
because
that's
gay
never,
people are
but that's
people,
not,
man.
that's
Gay
never,
people are
you know,
people.
you know what, that's never changed, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what blows me away, how does somebody like that think like that, when,
He grew up
No,
in
no.
New York City, man.
yeah, but
That's
still,
like Kenny Mecca.
look, my dad, I think I told you a story, my dad one of my dad's best friends was gay, and he owned a hairdressing salon in West Vancouver. His name was Philip, and Philip, I mean, gay as you can get it.
That's right.
But in the 50s, like this 50s and 60s, but everybody knew that Philip was gay in the city of
Of
Vancouver.
course.
My mom told me so. My mom says he was one of the best hairdressers in the city. He had people from LA coming up to get their hair done by this guy.
Right.
And he had a shop in West Vancouver, and he lived in West Vancouver.
Right.
And my dad was good friends with him. I don't know what my dad was hanging out and doing with him.
Okay.
I don't think my dad cared.
No one cares.
And you know what?
Well-
I'd go over to Uncle, he called me, we're going over to Uncle Philip's house. I'd go over to Uncle Philip's house, you know, and Uncle Philip was running around. I was 7 years old. What did I know? He's running
Who
around.
cares?
He's running around in a little blanket, you know, a little
Yeah.
thing, and he's got these two huge poodles, standard poodles, and he's coloring them.
Yeah.
Like he's
Right.
got them in the bathtub, and one's turning blue, and the other one's turning purple. And I'm like, I'm looking, and you know, I'm just playing with the koi fish in the back. He had a big koi
Sure.
fish. I'm playing.
Sounds like he did well for himself.
Yeah, I did, and I mean, but that's been going on for
Well, the
fucking
way I know
ever.
it-
That's what I mean,
So
so-
what
I love
the
you
fuck
guys.
is? What
I
do you-
don't care who you fuck.
Thank
No,
you.
but
I
you-
don't care.
Yeah.
But you know, here's the thing. What are you threatened by?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
what
that's
the
wild
fucking
part.
problem here?
That's the wild
Who
part.
are you fucking threatened by for
Yeah.
you to be able to fucking well, the word I use is to repress people. So why are you repressing people if you're so scared? Like I'm sorry, at the end of the day, if you're that scared, maybe you should go and see a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and get your brain checked out, because
Word.
nobody's here gonna hurt you.
No.
Nobody here, you're the one that's doing the hurting.
That's where it comes down. It's
Yeah.
a sense of power. Who has the power in his mind? Like a lot of these people are feeling they're losing the power, right? They're not the ones in control. They don't understand, and they don't want to understand. So go get educated. Go fucking read a book. Go talk to someone. You don't realize how many people are queer or you don't understand what someone's going through in their day, and they come in even into the shop. You know?
Dude, when the Republican convention went down, or wherever the fuck they did that, Grindr went through the fucking roof.
I bet. That's
It's
right.
true.
Yeah. See,
So
you
there
go.
it is.
Yeah.
It's not that they hate gay people, it's they hate the idea that someone will know they're gay.
Yeah. And it's because they come from a place that they're not allowed to be themselves,
That's
right?
true.
And it's just like, yeah. Well,
Well, no offense, but so I don't mean folks to. I mean, I know there's people out there that are probably watching who who like Donald, right? I'm not,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to slam Donald, but you know, I say that now and then I go slam him. So here's the thing. So the guy,
Slam Polyev.
for somebody who wears a lot of orange on his face, makeup on his face, and does this,
Yeah.
you know, like no offense, like,
Just
what are you scared of?
Yeah.
Because you're dancing with the village people.
Right.
Like how
With your
can-
platinum
how-
hair.
Yeah, how can
His
you?
hair used to be brown.
Yeah, like how can you?
Yeah.
The concept of this and this and then slamming people's freedom. I shake my friggin' head and I go like, there's something wrong. Like
That's
really wrong here
Yeah.
with the whole concept.
Yeah.
It's not making any sense.
Right.
It, like Bill Maher says, what stop the insanity because it's getting
Susan
fucking-
Powder stuff.
Yeah. Stop, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Stop the
That
insanity,
spiky
right?
blonde hair, it looks so rad.
So at coming around to it all, like this, the art and all this is our way of expressing ourselves and get rid of all this crazy shit that's going on.
Vote for Katie.
Vote for Katie.
I'm here. I'm queer. I'm ready to drink some beer. But honestly, like when it comes down to it, and I think like art and yeah, like you're saying, like body expression. You used to go to somewhere that people were on show, like, oh look at this freak, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know, like
It was
now
weird.
it's weird. And now these days, like let the freak flag fly.
That's my
right?
song.
And
That's a theme song to our goddamn podcast.
That's right, buddy. Like, and I know I watch your guys' podcast. Yeah, but like honestly, like let us be us, right? Like I want to put up some weird monster shit. I want to put stuff on my skin. Like
Yes.
let me do it, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not invading your world. And I believe like you know with art and expression, music. Communication is
Mhm.
key. Like that's how we'll find love in ourselves with each other, and we'll be able to live together happily, right? Like
That's what I think too, man. I don't give a fuck for anything but love.
yeah.
I don't know if anything else is real. I'm positive that's real.
Well, you remember what the Beatles said, right? The Beatles said, all
That's
you
all you
need
need.
is love.
Well, I'm not a huge
Yeah.
Beatles fan, but I'm down with that.
Yeah, well, that was a great slogan, right?
For
that,
sure.
That was the
And paint it
if
black
you, and if you
from
if
the
you
Stones.
yeah, and if you said that, you know, like Paul McCartney said, that's our best slogan. Like, you know, all you need is love, right?
All you need is
And all
love.
you need is love, and at the end of the day, that's so true, and that still goes on to this day, right?
Yeah.
You know, every song that they wrote and the Stones wrote is all about love. It's all from comes from the heart, right? Those two bands especially are huge. All
And
about
any
that.
art that is worth its fucking salt too,
Yeah.
it comes from the heart and comes
Yeah.
from like all the fucking shit you do and how fucking head down you were that whole time for sure, dude.
Thanks, bro.
And when you come in here and how fucking rad you are, and to just bounce in here with so much fucking joy every time you come here, it's lovely.
But I do it because I feel at home here. Like you guys give me that love though. Like I feel like I can't like you know I have my own like demons like behind me, and then I come in here but you guys lift me up. You make me feel good, and like I know I have a good love support system here, and I feel like I can do a lot for myself, but also
Game
for
recognizes
like,
game.
That's right, buds.
Yeah,
Love
word
that.
up.
I appreciate you guys so much.
We want to thank Katie for coming out, and we're going to have her back next time. We're going to talk about all
A
this
lot
stuff.
more.
Yeah,
we
we
got,
do the
we
art.
got lost
Yeah.
because we always get lost.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, everybody.
We love you. Get lost.
Get lost.
Thank you.